Hey, what's new and exciting? It's Kevin O'Shaughnessy here to help you get better at the guitar. Whether you struggle with things like ergonomics or the mechanics of a particular technique, I'm here to help. I'll also cover subjects like learning how to read music and some basic music theory. I've found that sometimes the things that other guitar teachers tell you you don't need might be exactly what you do need to get you to the next level, and I'm here to help. Now, before we get going, I want to let you know that I've got a free PDF guide on how to sit with the guitar properly. This is an often overlooked skill, and a lot of method books get it wrong. So if you're experiencing any pain while you're playing the guitar, it could be the way you're sitting with it. So the link is in the description below. Get your free PDF. I promise it'll change the way you play. So this video is the response to a comment that I got on a previous video that I made. At mlu8218 says, "I'm so glad you're making videos again." Thank you very much, by the way. "I'm inspired to get back to trying to learn. I first picked up the guitar a few months ago and felt pretty excited to be learning something new, but also a bit overwhelmed by how difficult I find it. I think I may be a sort of slow learner. How can I keep myself motivated when my efforts don't immediately pay off? Are there any mini goals I could set to feel like I'm making progress? Many thanks." I get this question a lot, and there are a few things that you can try to keep yourself motivated to learn the guitar. So the first thing I suggest is that you discover for yourself why it is that you want to play the guitar. And I'm talking beyond developing a particular skill set or playing like your favorite artist. This has to get into a slightly deeper, more emotional level. Now, when I was a kid and I wanted to learn how to play guitar, the reason was pretty simple. I wanted to be able to recreate the magic that I felt when I listened to music. So if your reason for playing the guitar seems a little less obvious, here's an exercise you can do to find it. I just call it the why exercise, and I'm not the first person to come up with it, though I did sort of stumble upon it myself many years ago. The process for this is actually pretty simple. Ask yourself, why do I want to play the guitar? And for every answer that you give, ask a follow-up why question. So an example might sound something like this. Why do I want to play guitar? Because I want to sound like Joe Guitar Player. So then you ask yourself why. Why do you want to sound like Joe Guitar Player? The answer might be, because I like his music. The next question would be, why do you like his music? The answer might be, because I think it sounds cool. The next question might be, why do you think it sounds cool? Or in that case, you could rephrase it and say, what makes it cool? If you keep following that process and you're honest with yourself about the answers, you'll eventually come to an emotional reason. There will be some kind of a feeling that you get when you play music, and it's something that you want to recreate, either for yourself or for others. And the truth is, it doesn't make any difference. You don't need to run this by your friends or family. This is your answer. This is your why. This is your reason for learning how to play the guitar in the first place. And it's entirely yours. Nobody can take it from you. Nobody can criticize you for it. But you've got to understand it to let it motivate you. Once you've done that, here are a couple of other suggestions you can try to help keep you motivated. The first thing I would suggest would be to scale back your goals. I know that sounds a little counterintuitive, but hear me out. If you're self-taught, there's a very good possibility that you're skipping ahead without realizing it. After all, we don't know what we don't know. So if you're trying to work on something, maybe a complex chord progression, and there are skills that you need in order to build up a foundation to play that kind of chord progression, you need to scale back a little bit and make sure you're getting that foundation. If you need help with that, I recommend the Hal Leonard Guitar Method Book 1. I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can pick up a copy. Now, just to be clear, I am not endorsed by Hal Leonard at all. It's simply the book that I have all of my students get. It's not a perfect method book, but I like the way it's laid out. It gives you a few notes on one string and then gradually adds notes and builds into chords. It's also written with simple enough language so that you can use it as a self-guide. And even if you don't follow the book exactly, as long as you're following the strategy behind it, you'll start to see improvement. The next thing I would suggest would be to listen to your favorite artist, a lot. And I mean almost obsessively. When I was young, I listened to music all the time, and that alone served as such a motivation because when I sat down to try to learn their songs, I would be able to listen to the tune and say, I'm going to be able to do that someday. And then I would pick up my guitar and I would start practicing. The power of listening cannot be overstated. Lastly, reward yourself for your accomplishments, no matter how small. Whatever you find enjoyable will work. If you get a chord to sound good, find a way to celebrate that. If you get a riff to sound good, find a way to celebrate that. That positive reinforcement will go a long way to keeping you motivated. So I hope that helps. Question of the day. What is your biggest roadblock when it comes to motivation? Do you have any suggestions that might help the community? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this subject. Now remember to get your free PDF on how to sit with the guitar. The link is in the description below. As I said, I promise it will change the way you play. If you'd like to support the channel, liking and subscribing are always useful, but if you want to take it a step further, you can pick up a copy of my album, Persistence of Vision. It's a hard rock record full of Joe Satriani-like instrumentals, story-driven songs, and a lot of great riffs. It's everything I love about rock and roll. And if you've got questions, leave them in the comments below and they may become the subjects of future videos. And I want to thank mlou8218 for the comment that inspired this video. Now go practice and I'll see you in the next video.